All right, hi friends. This is Henrik Palmgren. Welcome to Red Ice Radio. Nice of you to tune in today, as we are going to spend some time talking about primarily the Kolbrin Bible with our guest Marshall Masters. Marshall has been doing a lot of research on Planet X and Nibiru, subjects that we sporadically have been mentioned by other guests on this program, mostly by passing. Haven't gone really into detail about it. Obviously, as you know, there's a whole lot of information out on the web about these subjects. It's a very interesting topic, and I personally kind of gave up on this back in 2003 for various reasons, and we'll see if Marshall and I get into this a little bit later in the program as well. But as I mentioned, we're going to begin to primarily talk about the Kolbrin Bible. This is a scripture, I guess, compiled of manuscripts that was actually saved before the burning of the Glastonbury Monastery and safeguarded by a group called the Chaldeans that we have mentioned before on the program. And Marshall has written a book called The Kolbrin Bible. You can find out more about this on his website, kolbrin.com, but also take a look at YOWUSA.com and YOWBooks.com for much more information, both on Marshall and his material. But with that, it's good to have you with us on the program, Marshall. Thank you for coming on.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I really, you've really prepared for this. Your head's above the rest.
All right. Well, we'll see how much we can dig out here, as it were, as well. I've been interested in this subject for a long time, and it wasn't not that long ago that I just stumbled over some information about the Kolbrin Bible, and when I searched about some of the topics on this, I fairly early in the process came over some of your websites and your work, obviously. But before we dive into the meat of the Kolbrin Bible, why don't we just talk a little bit about yourself, your background, and primarily what I think our listeners would be interested in is how you kind of got involved in this whole area and how you got your eyes open to the whole Planet X issue, Marshall.
Well, when it comes to the Planet X issue, I came into it the same way. I think 99% of the folks who do, you walk straight backwards into it. It's the only way to explain it. You're dealing with a topic of catastrophism and the end of life as we know it. We view it as an evolutionary event. So this is not, I'd much rather be writing children's books, frankly. But and I do. I have published children's books, and I just really enjoyed that. This is something where you start with awareness, and that's how everyone comes to this topic. It's awareness. And something happens in your life. It opens your eyes. Now, for me, it was a period of years during the 90s. I had a travel business to Russia. And every winter, I would go make my trips to do my hotel inspections and set up for my cruise packages, whatever I was doing that year. And I would take the same route. Every year, same time of year, between late December, early January, it would be the polar flight on Aeroflot from San Francisco to Moscow and back again. Now, going over was always at night, but coming back was always during the day. And you're flying over the pole. Now, I grew up in the deserts of Arizona. So to me, snow was something you bought in a cone with some flavoring on it. Okay?
Right.
And there I am at this airplane, wingtip to wingtip. I am seeing the Arctic. I remember the first time this happened. This was in actually 1994, not that long after Perestroika, and in the fall of the Soviet Union.
Right.
It was stunning to me. I was mesmerized. My face was glued to the window, and the beautiful snow drifts, the blue ice. I'd never seen blue ice, and I saw it for the first time from altitude. But over the years, from going up to 1998, what happened was I watched a steady deterioration, and what had once been a beautiful landscape was broken and busted. It looked like a shattered windshield in a wrecking yard. And then I realized, hold on a second, at that time in America, people were talking about climate change, were being mocked and ridiculed as tree huggers. And I'm going, hold on a second, I saw this. I'm going to believe my lying eyes. I got to figure out what's going on here. And then I got involved with some other folks, and we started really trying to understand global warming. That's what brought me to Planet X. And when we were evaluating all this stuff, once you strip out all of the agendas on one side or the other, and the 100% anthropomorphic rationale, Al Gore's an inconvenient truth is really an inconvenient omission.
Oh, yeah.
All right. On the other hand, you got the petrodollar companies that are out there going, what global warming? This is nonsense. Well, the two of them are both agenda driven. What we found was, and is more the prevailing view today, bear in mind, we came to this conclusion in 2000, is that solar activity was the principal driver.
Right.
Now, whereas anthropomorphic causes are, what we're doing is just simply exacerbating the effect. But, if you take all of human pollution and put it in perspective, it adds up to one good-sized volcano fart. All right. Right. So,
not that significant, in other words.
Well, yeah, you have one good-sized eruption. And I mean, the worst that we can do pales in comparison.
Yeah.
And eruptions have caused massive climate changes and very sudden climate changes. And this is documented in our own recorded history, where in Europe in the Dark Ages, these things are relating back to eruption events. But what got us to the point where we understood it was solar was we said, okay, if our atmosphere is evidencing these perturbations, if it's solar related, then it would stand to reason that the atmospheres of the other objects in our solar system would be evidencing similar aberrant behaviors.
Yes. It's
exactly what we found. And the way we found it is, what I would say to your listeners is, imagine you're standing in a sports stadium in the dark of night, and it's completely black. And then the banks of lights start coming on. Chunk, 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 like that. And that was our research. We're looking at this and we're going, my gosh, it's all over the place. Just one example, Mars. Mars experienced a global warming that if we had that severe degree of global warming here on the Earth, humankind would be extinct now. And so, but it's going throughout, even into the gas giants. You're looking at, weather changes, inexplicable weather changes, Jupiter, Saturn, and so forth. It just goes on. And when you're reading it, you always see that being reported, they're going, golly, gee, we didn't expect this. The scientists are always going, wow, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Where did this come from? And then after they go, hey, all of this crazy stuff's happening and we don't have an understanding why, and we certainly didn't expect it, but rest assured, nothing is happening. All right. That's NASA's position. When the movie 2012 came out, NASA came out and emphatically stated, without reservation or caveat, nothing will happen in 2012.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
My first reaction was, whoopee, ground the fleet. We don't need chemical rockets anymore. Because they've obviously possessed and developed a time machine. They can go 30-some months into the future and see exactly what's going to happen, and they've come back. So what do we need to go